Hi, my name is Ginger. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Vinyasa Flow class. Go ahead and start in a comfortable seated position, maybe grabbing a block and placing it underneath your sit bones to find a little bit of lift. And then taking a moment here, maybe you close the eyes or soften the gaze. Just sitting up nice and tall. Begin to bring your awareness to your breathing. You might deepen your inhales and exhales. See if you can elongate them, making them the same length. And right away, finding a slight constriction in the back of your throat, tapping into your Ujjayi breath, creating these audible waves of inhales and exhales. And throughout practice today, I'll encourage you to continue to bring your awareness to your breathing. So you might notice that your thoughts will start to wander, your mind will trail off, but we're going to continue to bring our awareness, continue shifting it back to that breathing. Notice if you're holding any unnecessary tension, maybe in the jaw, in the eyebrows, and just softening in the face, melting the shoulders down, away from the ears. And then noticing the point in the body that the ground, maybe your block, reaches up to support you. And finding a slight lift in the pelvic floor, knitting the low ribs in here, pulling the shoulder blades together. And taking a few more deep rounds of breath. You're welcome to keep the eyes closed if you'd like here, just trusting the sound of my voice to guide you through a little warm-up. But if you'd like, you could also begin to flutter the eyes open. On our next inhale, we'll swoop the arms out to the side, reaching up for the sky. Maybe take your gaze with you. Exhale, palms together right at the heart center. And same thing here. Inhale as you reach out, up. And exhale, palms together. One last time here, big breath in, really take up space as you reach for the sky. Exhale, palms together right at the heart center. Maybe taking a moment here, if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, consider what you need, consider your why for showing up to class today. And then on our next breath in, same thing, we'll reach the arms up high. And this time, as you exhale, cactus the arm, shine the heart space forward as you bend the elbows. Good. Inhale, we reach for the sky. Exhale, right hand comes down, left hand reaches over towards the right, chest stays open, pointed forward. Good. Inhale, pulls us back through center. This time, plant your left hand, and as you exhale, lean towards the left. Inhaling back through center and exhaling here. This time as we inhale, we'll reach the arms up overhead. And then with our exhale, twisting towards the right, left hand crosses to the outside of the right thigh and just holding it here for a few breaths. With each inhale, we find a little bit more length, a little bit more space between each vertebrae. And then with each exhale, sinking into it just a little bit more. Being really mindful here. Make sure you're not forcing anything. And then using our next inhale, we'll unravel, reach for the sky. Maybe lift your gaze. Exhale, twisting towards the left this time. Same thing with each inhale. We sit up a little bit taller. And with each exhale, sinking a little bit further into this twist. You might imagine your spine is like a damp cloth, and you're wringing out any tension, any worries, any fears, and tuning back into the breath. And allowing with each new cycle of breaths to return to the present moment. Each new breath is like a new opportunity to tune in, to listen. And using your next inhale, we'll unravel, reach for the sky. And then as you exhale, we'll take the hands forward, coming into a tabletop position, making your way there. And take your time, no rush at all. Bringing your hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips, and just taking a moment to settle in, noticing this transition, maybe taking some fluid movements here to adjust. And pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, pressing all 10 fingertips into the ground, and swiveling those elbows so that the creases point forward, making sure to keep a soft micro bend here. Knitting the low ribs in and flowing through a few cat-cows. As you inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, trace a vertical line going up with the nose as you open the chest. Exhale to round in the back, tracing that line back down with the nose, hugging the low belly in. Again, we inhale, lift the chest for cow, and exhale to round in for cat. And go ahead and take it through a few rounds of this, using your breath to guide you. And if you like, you could give yourself the freedom to explore here, maybe veering off the railroad tracks. You could take circles with the hips, with the shoulders, rock a little bit from side to side. If you notice any points that need a little bit of extra love and care, maybe even sinking back, shifting your weight towards the heels, towards child's pose. Take what you need, yogis. This is your time. And then with your next breath in, go ahead and meet me back in center. We'll press into the left hand, and as you inhale, reach your right hand high. See if you can keep your hips nice and level here as you open the chest, reach a little bit higher, take a big breath in. Exhale to flip the palm, thread the needle, lowering your right shoulder and your right ear down towards the mat. Maybe you extend your left hand up overhead. Maybe you cross it around the back. Another option, if you'd like to explore, curling the left toes under and lifting the knee to hover, opening the chest a little bit more towards the left, pulling that left shoulder blade down the back to meet the right, and returning to our breathing. Go ahead and lower the knee if you lifted it, returning your left hand back underneath the face, pressing into it and using that to lift the right hand back up high. Exhale to lower it down, coming back to that tabletop position. Maybe taking a few cat-cows here just to recenter. On your next breath in, returning to that neutral spine, tailbone and crown of the head reaching in opposite directions. This time pressing into the right hand as you inhale, reach your left hand high. And again, just checking to make sure your hips are level. One more big breath in, maybe reaching a little bit further, maybe gazing up towards the hand. Exhale as you flip the palm, thread the needle. Go ahead and lower your left shoulder down, your left ear down. And finding the option that best serves you with that right arm. Maybe curling the right toes under and lifting the right knee. Go ahead and lower the knee if you lifted it. Bringing our right hand back underneath us, pressing into it. Go ahead and reach the left hand high, unravel. Exhale for tabletop position. And then from here, go ahead and shift your weight forward, coming to lay on the tummy. We'll find a Sphinx pose. So bringing the forearms parallel, pressing the palms, all 10 fingertips into the ground. And if this isn't comfortable in the forearms, you're welcome to interlace your fingers in front of you here. But wherever you are, see if you can pull your shoulder blades together, really shining your heart space forward, pressing into the tops of the feet so much that the knees slightly lift to hover, tucking the chin, really lengthening the crown of your head up towards the sky. Continue knitting the low ribs in to protect the back. Taking a few rounds of breath here. And from here, go ahead and curl the toes under. Take a big breath in. And then use your exhale to lift the hips. We'll come into a forearm plank. And again, you're welcome to readjust, maybe interlacing the fingers underneath you if that feels more comfortable in the shoulders. Option to lower the knees down here as well. Find what works for you. And finding that breathing. Maybe you think to yourself, I am strong. Really anchoring in with each breath. One more big inhale, fill up the lungs. And then using your exhale, lower the knees, lower the hips down. We'll press into the hands, flipping the feet, and then sinking the hips back towards the heels. We'll come into our child's pose, bringing the knees out as wide as you'd like. And then walking the hands forward, melting the chest, melting the hips down towards the ground, maybe towards your blocks. And sending each inhale to the back of that heart space, just between the shoulder blades. And from here, go ahead and shift forward, tabletop position. Curl the toes under, take a big breath in, and then use your exhale to peel the hips up and back, coming into our first downward facing dog of the day. Taking as much of a bend in the knees here as you'd like. See if you can focus on creating this long line from the hands up to the hips, externally rotating the arms. So again, the eyes of the elbows face towards the front of the mat, the upper back broadens. Knitting the low ribs in, maybe you begin to pedal the heels down towards the ground, rocking the hips from side to side as you continue to press into all 10 fingertips. And then maybe you even play with walking the feet out about mats width distance apart, taking this wide stance, downward dog. Maybe noticing if the sensations in the legs and the shoulders feel any different here. And then from here, as you inhale, lift your heels, come up on the toes, bend the knees, and gaze forward. Exhale to lift the hips, lower the heels, back down, wide leg downward dog. And same thing here, we'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, send it back, downward dog. One more time, just like that, big breath in. And exhale. Bringing the feet back about hips width distance apart. And then use your next inhale to take tiny baby steps towards the front of the mat. We'll come into our forward fold. Taking as much of a bend in the knees here. Again, softening the upper body over the legs. Relax in the neck. Let the head hang heavy. Maybe swaying a little bit from side to side. Maybe nodding the head yes. Shaking the head no. And then with your next inhale, we'll slide the hands up the legs, stopping wherever is comfortable to you, finding this halfway lift. So again here, just like in tabletop position, long line from the tailbone up to the crown of the head, shoulder blades pull together and knitting those low ribs in. Take a big breath in, fill up the lungs. Exhale to soften, sink it back down, forward fold. We'll do that same thing as you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, inhale, halfway lift. This time hold it here as you exhale. Inhale, reach your arms out to a T, palms facing down, shoulder blades pulled together, hold it here. Exhale. Root through the feet, big breath in to reach for the sky, take up space, come up to standing. Exhale, palms together, right at the heart center. Maybe close your eyes, bring your intention back to mind. Engaging in the thighs here, engaging in the glutes so much that the kneecaps slightly lift. Shoulder blades pull together, down and away from the ears. And then imagining a string pulling the crown of your head up a little bit higher, standing up nice and tall. We'll interlace the fingers. Take a big breath in as you press the palms out away from you. Reach for the sky. With your exhale, go ahead and lean it towards the right. Chest stays open, pointed forward. Inhale, using those obliques to pull you back through center. And with your exhale, this time take it to the left. Inhale brings us back through center. Release your grip and exhale, swan dive the arms down, finding your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale to fold. We'll plant the hands here. Step the feet back to plank. Option to lower the knees down here as always. Just continue pressing into those fingertips. Shoulders stacked right above the wrist. Creases of the elbows. Again here, swiveling forward. Taking that soft micro bend. Use your next inhale to rock forward, shift forward. Exhale to bend the elbows, hug the arms against the side body, lower down onto the tummy, press into the together. As you inhale, lift the chest, tuck the chin, baby cobra. Exhale, lowering back down. We'll curl the toes under. Use your inhale to lift you up through tabletop or plank. And then our exhale sends us back to that downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling it out here once again and finding any movement that feels good in your body. With our next inhale, we'll lift the heels, come up on the toes, bend the knees and gaze forward. Exhale to make your way to that forward fold. Inhale lifts us halfway, long spine. And exhale to fold. And this time as we're here, go ahead and grab a block if you have one. We'll place the block underneath our left hand. Take a deep bend in the left knee, and as you inhale, reach your right hand high for a twist. And taking a few breaths here. Notice the sensations in that right hamstring. One more inhale, reach a little bit higher. Exhale to lower back down. Switch your block over. Plant your right hand, bend your right knee. Inhale to reach your left hand high. Maybe gazing in that direction. One more big breath in, extending that energy past those left fingertips. And exhale, return forward fold. Root through the feet, big breath in to reach for the sky, take up space. Exhale, palms together, right at the heart center. Interlace your fingers. Big breath in to press those palms out and up. And exhale, you've got it. Lean towards the right. Inhale, back through center. And then this time, exhale, leaning towards the left. Inhale through center. Release your grip and exhale, swan dive down. Find that forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale to fold. Planting the hands, meeting me back in our plank position. Again, option to lower the knees. With your next inhale, rock forward, shift forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Flip the feet, maybe keeping the hips lifted this time. Lift the chest, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to send the hips back. Find your downward dog. Next inhale, we lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. And then use that exhale to make your way to our forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. And exhale, fold it forward. Go ahead and grab your block. Place it under the left hand, bend the left knee. Inhale, reach your right hand high. Exhale, right back down through center, forward fold. Plant your right hand, bend your right knee. Inhale, reach the left hand high. Exhale, returning to that forward fold. Root through the feet. Use your inhale to roll up the spine. Reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, palms together, right at the heart center. Interlace your fingers. Inhale to press the palms out and up. And last time, as you exhale, leaning towards the right. Inhale brings us through center. Exhale this time, take it to the left. Inhaling through center. And exhale, swan dive it down, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. And exhale to fold. This time planting your hands here, maybe grabbing your blocks if you'd like. We're going to shift our weight to the left foot and then step up, lowering the knee down. Spine, shoulder blades pulled together. Maybe even lifting the fingertips to hover off the ground. Squeezing the inner thighs together, really pressing into the feet. As you inhale, reach the arms behind you, fingers pointing away. Hold it here with your exhale. Inhale, reach for the sky, coming into this lunge. And then taking a few breaths. Really think about decreasing that space between the ribs and the hips here. So finding this nice strong core, shoulders stay pulled together, chest is open. Inhale, reach a little bit higher. Exhale to cactus the arms, open the chest. Inhale, reaching high. And exhale, paint the hands forward, pull the left hip crease back, maybe bringing your blocks with you. We'll flex in the left foot, coming into half splits. So you're welcome to take as much of a bend in that left knee here as you'd like. But see if you can take this as a hinge in the hips. So rather than rounding in the back, again, create that nice long spine. Shoulders pulled together, leading that fold with the chest. And take a big breath in. And as you exhale, go ahead and rock your left toes out towards the left. Left knee follows, trailing in that same direction. Notice if this feels any different on the hamstring, maybe in the hip. And then using your next breath in, rock the toes, rock the knee back through center. With your exhale, we'll dip them in this time towards the right. Noticing any changes that come up here. With your next breath in, returning through center, walking the hands forward in that front knee. Plant the left foot, curl the back toes under, and then planting your right hand as you lift your right knee to hover ahead and reach your left hand high, coming into a twist. Exhale, lowers us down. We'll step the back foot forward to meet the front, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway, and exhale to fold. This time shifting your weight to the right foot, maybe grabbing your blocks as we step the left foot behind us, lowering the knee down, finding your low runner's lunge. And checking to make sure, again, here that right knee stacks right over your right ankle. Your back toes are welcome to curl under, or maybe you press the top of the foot into the mat. Squeezing the inner thighs together, find that lift in the chest, maybe hovering those fingers off the mat. And then on your next inhale, reach your hands behind you, pull the shoulder blades together, hold it here, exhale. Inhale to reach for the sky, maybe take your gaze in that direction. Exhale to cactus the arms. Inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, we'll paint the hands forward, this time pulling the right hip crease back, finding your version of half splits. And creating that length once again in the spine. Maybe each breath in creates a little bit more space in the spine, in the hips, in the hamstring. And then with each breath out, we're able to sink into that space that we just created a little bit further. Inhaling here. Exhale to dip the right toes towards the right. Knee trails in that same direction. Hanging out here for a few breaths. With your next breath in, we'll rock the toes, rock the knee back through center, and exhale, take it to the left. Inhale through center, walking the hands forward, planting that right foot, planting the left hand, and then curling the left toes under as you lift the left knee to hover, reach the right arm high, coming into our twist. Exhale to lower the hand down. We'll step the back foot forward to meet the front. Heel toe the toes together. A little bit of space between the heels, preparing for our chair pose. Go ahead and bend the knees, sink the hips down, and use your inhale to lift the chest. Maybe reaching the arms up overhead. Maybe reaching them out in front of you. Maybe behind you for airplane arms. Or maybe even bringing the palms to touch right at the heart center. Find your option. Know that my option doesn't have to look like yours. Continue engaging in the thighs, engaging in the glutes, maybe sink a little bit lower. Drawing the low ribs in, shoulders pull away from the ears. And take a big breath in here, fill up the lungs. And then as you exhale, twisting towards the right, bring the left elbow to cross to the outside of that right thigh. Really pressing into the palms here to shine the heart space over towards the right. Maintaining that nice long spine. Maybe take a look down at your knees. And if you notice your left knee tracking forward a bit, pull your left hip back. One more big breath in. And then with your exhale, slowly shifting your weight towards the right foot, lifting the left toes, and then gently stepping the foot back, coming into a twisted lunge. Option to lower your left knee down. Again, scissoring those inner thighs together just like we did before. Finding that foundation. Inhaling here. Exhale, we'll release, coming into our low lunge. Curl the back toes under, press into the left hand, and as you lift your left knee, reach your right hand high, finding an open twist. Exhale to lower, stepping the back foot forward to meet the front, toes to touch, bend the knees, sink the hips down. Inhale, lift the chest for chair pose. Exhale, maybe sink a little bit lower. And then you're welcome to stay here if this feels good, or if you'd like to play with a little bit more balance. With your next inhale, shift your weight forward. Begin to lift the heels, coming up on the toes, maybe finding a focal point out in front of you to take your gaze. One more inhale here. And exhale, lower the heels down. Cross your right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, finding that twist on this side. Pressing into both of the palms. And then shifting your weight to the left foot, begin to lift the right toes to hover. Stepping the right foot behind you, lowering down with the right knee if you'd like. Finding your version of this twisted lunge. One more round of breaths. And then on your next exhale, unravel, plant the right hand, curl the right toes under, and as you lift the right knee, we'll reach the left hand high, opening up that twist. Exhale to lower it down, step the right foot forward to meet the left, forward fold. And then rooting through the feet, use your inhale to rise up to standing, to Tadasana. Palms shining forward, shoulder blades roll down away from the ears, maybe closing your eyes here. Noticing that energy drawing up from the soles of the feet all the way to the crown of the head. Maybe see if you can slow down your breathing a bit, returning to those deep inhales and exhales. And then with your next breath in, we'll reach for the sky. Exhale to rain the hands down. Continue bending in the knees, sinking the hips down towards the heels. And then bringing the hands behind us, we'll take a seat. And keeping the knees bent. We'll take one final flow here before we start to cool it down. Maybe keeping your hands on the ground behind you. Maybe bringing them to the backs of the thighs here. But see if you can find length in the spine and then begin to lean backwards, preparing for boat pose. If this feels good for you, hold it here. If you notice the upper back starts to round, maybe lifting a little bit higher, coming out of that lean just a bit. And then if you'd like, you could also play with lifting the feet to hover, bringing the shins parallel to the sky, maybe reaching your fingers out in front of you as you flex the feet into an imaginary wall in front of you. Take a big breath in wherever you are. And then as you exhale, straighten the hands, begin to lean back for full boat. Exhale, bending the knees, crunching it in. Inhale, will lengthen. Exhale to crunch. Inhale, same thing here. You've got this. Lengthen. Exhale to crunch. And then this time, as you inhale, lean back, twist towards the right. Exhale to pull us back through center. Inhale, this time leaning back towards the left. Exhale through center. We'll do one more just like that on each side. Inhale, twist to the right. Exhale, center. One more on the left. Inhale, lower. And exhale, hug it in. Lower the feet. Give yourself a nice big hug here, curling into a little ball. Maybe taking a moment here just to tell yourself thank you for showing up, for dedicating this time to yourself and your practice. Maybe you say your name, Say, I love you. And then as you're ready, we'll extend the legs out long, taking as much of a bend in the knees here as you'd like. Knee bends are always welcome. Inhale to reach the arms out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall. And then with your exhale, slowly begin to lean back once again. This time, beginning to plant the vertebrae on the ground, one by one, nice and slowly. Lowering the shoulders, lowering the head last. And then reaching the hands up overhead, point the toes, take a big good morning stretch. We'll hug the right knee in towards the chest, maybe over towards the right armpit, whatever feels good. And then rolling out the ankles a few times. And crossing your left hand to the outside of that right thigh, go ahead and guide it over towards the left for a supine twist. Option to grab a block, place it underneath the knee. Maybe taking your right hand out towards the right, rocking your head in that direction. And if you'd like, you can invite the eyes to close or the gaze to soften. Trust the sound of my voice to guide you through the remainder of our class. Go ahead and use your next inhale to rock back through center. Maybe hug that right knee in one more time. Give it a little squeeze. And then we'll switch legs. Extend your right leg out long, bending the left knee in towards the chest, maybe towards that left armpit. And crossing your right hand to the outside of that left thigh, guiding it over towards the right for your supine twist on this side. Rocking the head towards the left. Go ahead and use your next inhale to pull you back through center, giving that left knee one final squeeze. And then lowering the left leg down to meet the right. We'll come into our final resting pose for Savasana. If you have any other postures or movements that your body is craving before we settle in, feel free to take a moment to take care of your needs. But if not, we'll inch the shoulders a little bit more under the chest, maybe reaching the arms out wide, palms facing up, fingers relaxing, curling inward. Or maybe you place the hands somewhere on the body. Perhaps your left hand comes to your heart center, your right hand comes to the tummy. We'll release control of our breathing here. Soften. And just bringing our awareness to that natural flow of each inhale and each exhale. See if with each breath out, you can let go of any tension, any tightness, maybe anything that is no longer serving you. And with each breath in, you invite positive thinking, you invite your confidence, your inner strength. If you notice your mind starts to wander, Continue to shift your awareness back to the breathing, maybe acknowledging any distractions, any sounds that you can hear, and releasing judgment of these things, just noticing. And continue to redirect that awareness back to your breathing, maybe even listening so intently that you can hear your heart beating. Savasana. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like, but whenever you're ready to continue with your day, begin to deepen the breathing, maybe inviting gentle movements to the fingers, the toes, the wrists, and the ankles, rocking the head from side to side against the ground beneath you. And then no rush here at all. If possible, keeping the eyes closed, trust that the ground is exactly where you left it. We'll bend the knees and make your way to lay on your most comfortable side, coming into a fetal position. And taking a few breaths here, just to notice this transition. And then whenever you're ready, again, keeping the eyes closed, if possible, use your hands to press yourself up, coming into your comfortable seated position. We'll finish just where we started our class, with a nice long spine. And go ahead and bring your palms together right at the heart center. As you inhale, bringing the thumbs up to the third eye space. The light, the love, the teacher in me sees and appreciates that in each of you. We inhale together here and exhale to say namaste.